and welcome to this edition of Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. I'm Ronnie Humphrey, and as always, I greatly appreciate you guys joining us today. And welcome to all of our new subscribers, like 200 in the last 2 weeks. Holy cow, we're on fire, but welcome to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do so and tell your friends about the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. Well, as promised, we're done with all the Five Flags Snowball Derby coverage. We're going to get back on the old Buick Regal today. I picked up a new tool. Actually, Buddy picked up a new tool off of the Snap-on truck. Probably cost about $1.5 million. But anyway, he picked up a neat little tool to put these 1/4-inch inserts in. And we're going to install these across the top of the firewall there where the dash bolts to the chassis. You can take the dash in and out of these cars. So I got to get the dash cleaned up today. We also got our new pulley in that mounts to the alternator. And this will run the belt off the alternator, off the water pump rather, to the alternator. And we're going to see if we can get this put on today. And I still need to come up with a bottom radiator hose. But if I could get this dash and stuff in here, get a battery in this thing, do it just a little bit of limited wiring, we could fire this thing up. But we're still a little ways from that. So let's jump right into it, see what we can get done. All right, to get started here, I was telling you about the tool that Buddy picked up. I think this is actually came off the Cornwell truck, but it's called an Astro. And to be honest with you, this is going to be a first time for me. I kind of looked over like it's pretty straightforward. I do know that we have to drill a hole to fit our insert down, so we'll try that first. I'm just going to try this thing. Make sure that'll go in. Nope, of course not. Okay, that'll fit in there now. So, I think if we drop this here, okay, put it in there. And we're going to screw our insert onto that. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put a little more thread sticking out here. Okay. Say I'm having to learn how to use it. Okay, now I put just a little more thread out. So we'll start our nut on here and we'll put this in. Then we're going to hold this. All right. So I had to get it 11/16 to break it loose now. There we go. I'm probably not doing this right, but there you go. If you can see that, tell you what I'll do. You have a nice insert now. And it's claps on the bottom. So I'll go grab a nut and see our little bolt, little screw, see if we can put it in there, see if that'll work. But we'll go ahead and continue this all the way around. And then we'll grab the dash and see if it'll fit in here, because we have to go all the way around like that. So I'll do a couple more of them here and see how they work, and then we'll be right back with you. Man, tell you what, that's going to be nice. Save a lot of time on your hands. What I did is I went on Amazon and bought a whole bag of these, 100 of them, for like, oh, I guess what, like $10, $15. Wasn't that much, because every time I go to Harbor Freight, I have about 1 million of these tools, the squeeze crimping tools, because they only give you like 5 of the nut inserts. So anyway, that'll be pretty cool. So I'll get the rest of these in, and we'll be right back with you. Okay, now that I've installed a few of these nut inserts, I'm gonna do one real time from the drilling all the way up to how quick it is to install the nut insert using the little tool. So watch this. Get our hole drilled, insert in. Screw it out and it's done. Y'all, if you build race cars or anything else, this sucker is worth the money. Let me tell you, it crimps so much further up on the backside, and I'll do a close-up here for you in just a second, but this sucker is bad to the bone. Get you one. I'm not sure how much it costs yet. I'll find out tonight, and I'll try to put that in the comments, but get you one of these. You won't regret it. All right, we got all the nut inserts installed now all the way across where the dash is going to go. I'm going to try to show you. I'll zoom in there. You can see how much that thing has pulled up. And it's a real bad issue with these things turning loose, and then you can't get them out, which that's what we ran into when we took the car apart originally. So I'm going to show you this one more time. And this is comes with all these different inserts for different size screws. It's called an Astro Rivet Nut Drill Adapter Kit. And man, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, let's go get the dash on this thing now and see if we can get her in here and see if it fits. And then I gotta get all the gauges out of it, get the dash cleaned up and get it painted. So let's keep on rolling. Okay, went and picked up this dash right in the back, and I tell you, I got to looking at, this is exactly what I was referring to, and I forgot I haven't had this dash out since we took the car apart. This is the problem. All of those inserts were turning, and I had to take a grinder, and I tell you what, right now, I'm gonna end up making a brand new dash. And I hate to do that, but I can't. I mean, these are just too bad tore up. You can see where the grinder got in there. So we're probably going to take everything out of this dash here and lay it out. I've got some of this metal in there, and we'll go ahead and make a new one. And I've got a bead roller, so we can bead roll everything. But it's pretty straightforward. So that's going to be a little different animal here. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this thing stripped down and go from there. That was pretty painful. It's amazing how bad a shape all the stuff is in. I was looking at some of these gauges and stuff. I don't know if we're gonna be able to use it or not. Obviously, we'll rewire the car to modern specs. That's pretty cool there. The original Laughlin Racing Products. I don't know if you can see that, but Laughlin Racing Products switch. Get all this stuff piled in here, and the mechanical gauges still should work. I don't know if I can get them cleaned up or not. We'll see. All right, that kind of gives you an idea. The dash is back in it, and all the holes line up perfect as they should. But one more to do. I think I'm gonna make this just a hair longer. I'll tell you, this bar right here is gonna be an issue, but this tachometer barely fits in here. So I'm glad I kind of put this in there, and I can see now that you really don't have enough room to make this any taller. So it's going to be the exact same size as far as this width here. So luckily we've got this powder. We're gonna lay everything out. So let's go over to the metal side and see if we can flatten this back out and see how much material it's going to take. We'll break or reverse that. All right. just like that, you have a flat piece of metal now. So I'm not gonna worry about taking this bottom out here, this lip here. I can just measure it and see, just add it to this full piece. So let's lay it on the table over here and measure out and see what it's gonna take to make a new one. Okay, you can tell obviously we got plenty of room to fit this on. So basically we're gonna need the widest point, only 26, 25 3/4. We'll add an inch, we'll add a 1/2 inch on the back side. So 25, so it'll be 25, 26 3/4. So it's 27 1/4. So, and that's only 52 inches. So, be pretty simple to do. I may go ahead and actually lay this out now. I'm thinking about it. Go ahead and flatten this out so I can lay out those dash gauge holes a little bit easier. Okay, I've got a buddy of mine who thinks he may have a piece of aluminum, red on white. Actually, I said, well, if you can use the red on red or red on white, either one doesn't matter. So he's gonna let me know in the morning on that. So meanwhile, we're gonna jump over here to this water pump alternator pulley, and it should be pretty straightforward. Luckily I found some 5/16 bolts that'll go in there. Hopefully this will line up here. Okay, good deal. That's pretty straightforward. I went up to the parts store also, got a alternator. I'm sorry, I got an alternator on the brain for some reason. We got a radiator hose on the bottom. I was able to use the radiator hose off my son's late model back there and figure out the length we needed. So I got he had a 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, 16.5 inches long, and I got a 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 by 19. And okay, that's good for that. And that's gonna fit. Maybe if I got another inch longer, but we'll get a radiator clamp hose on that, a hose clamp on that, and that'll be good. All right, so let's go ahead and now we've got this on. This will help us determine where the alternator's got to go. So let's get the alternator on there and see what we got. Okay, now that we've got our pulley on here, and don't worry, I'm gonna probably swap this out for a larger diameter pulley. But basically, we're gonna put a straight edge on here. I've just got a temporary bolt there on the bottom side of the alternator. So it looks like we square that up off of there. Looks like we need to come back about a 1/2 inch probably. So whoop, you can see just a temporary setup we got there. Now, as far as the top, we're gonna get this back in position first. I'm thinking about using this adjustable link here and actually coming across the front into that bolt hole right there. I gotta tap it, run a tap in it. But I think this will actually work. Again, we're not running 500 miles, so it doesn't matter. But so let's get this cut down, this spacer here, and we'll go ahead and put an official real bolt in there. And let's see how close that gets us to lining up here on this upper belt. And I need to go ahead and get the hose clamp on this bottom radiator hose as well. All right, we got the hole cleaned out up there on the intake, ran a tap through it. This is going to work actually pretty good. This time here was already for a 5/16 bolt, and we have 3/8 on this end, Heim on this end, so this is going to be very easy. I've got plenty of room to play with, so I'm going to put a spacer on this side to space this back, and then we'll measure what it takes. It's going to be kind of a little bit long spacer, but again, we're not racing the car. So we got all this clearance back here to play with on that water pump fitting. So be pretty simple. So let me go hunt down some spacers, a longer 5/16 bolt here, and this should be a piece of cake. Okay, that wraps up a pretty busy afternoon here in the shop. Got the clamps on the radiator hose. This is all tight. Well, I've got the adjuster loose right now so I can get a belt on it. But that is perfectly square. Got the spacer fixed on the bottom with the correct length bolt. So man, we're rolling. Now I got the radiator hose. I'm gonna go ahead and I gotta cut this belt here so we can get one that goes around the power steering. I know you're probably saying, well, that pulley's mighty close. Yes, it is, but this has not been adjusted yet. So this will come out. But I'm just gonna cut that belt and we'll lengthen that. The back belt will be direct one-to-one to the crank, and then we'll have this one here running to the alternator. So man, fantastic. So hopefully we will have some aluminum here tomorrow or the next day so we can start working on that dash. But been a good day. So we'll be right back with you. Well, we got a lot done this afternoon. Luckily, I didn't have to travel for work this week. For those of you who don't know or don't remember, I travel all over the Southeast as a chemical salesman for the oil and gas company. And since I was in Pensacola last week on vacation at the Five Flag Speedway and the Snowball Derby, I was able to hang around this week and work out of our main office here in Shreveport. So that's been good. Be able to come out here at night, be able to get a little stuff done on the car and get back on it. Seems like I haven't touched it in a long time. I've been being neglected. But anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Tell your friends and neighbors and ex-wives and ex-girlfriends and whoever you know. Tell them about the channel. Appreciate it as we continue to grow. It's so exciting right now. But you guys have a fantastic day. We'll see you next time on Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. God bless you, and you take care.